you don't know yet if you are using multi-agents in your deck, like let's say OpenClaw or Hermes agent or anything, Windows or Mac is going to crash. So you need Ubuntu. So I have made yesterday's video that would be my last day in my Windows system. I'm going to format it to Ubuntu, but I'm thinking, I also need Windows to play games. So let's partition the disk. So in order to do that, I created or downloaded the Ubuntu 22.04 Lite jammy jellyfish, and now I'm going to download something known as Ether Etcher. It's a flashing software, so it's used to flash the downloaded Ubuntu into a USB stick, which is connected here. And let's start flashing. Okay, now I am using the software to flash it onto the USB stick, and we're just waiting for the flash to make it. So what we are actually doing here is to, like, I don't know whether you guys lived in this era whereby people come to your home to repair your computer when something breaks down. At that time, rebooting or recovering was not there for Windows system, and nowadays Windows is such a garbage system, dude. Like, there is a lot of ads, as you can see here, car finance compensation. Like, why do I have to see this all of this thing, right? Like, Mac is expensive, but at least it's not like, like Facebook right now. Too much ads now, and I can't even do anything. Like, everywhere it's ads. Like, if I go to my system settings or I want to change my Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, it's like, oh, do you want to back up Windows on Windows OneDrive for 1 week, or do you need X-Lite, or do you need Lenovo Vantage? Why? So I'm going to flash it to Ubuntu, and I'm going to take you to my journey. Okay guys, flash is done for Ubuntu. This is where I knew I fucked up, because Ubuntu was not actually getting installed. And this is like a glitch screen. It usually has to have the installation folder, but it's not working. What the fuck is this? But after restart, I'm still coming back to Windows. So let's download Rufus. And now we can put the Rufus and the Rufus pen drive. And let's go with installation. It's kind of frustrating because when I'm installing Ubuntu, it's only flashing from USB stick. So once I remove USB stick, it is coming back to Windows. Now I think I need to do partition or install Ubuntu in the D drive and Windows in the C drive. But D drive has already a couple of files and coding projects which are already there. So I think I have to. These are all files in D drive. I could flash it here, but the next best thing is to move this thing somewhere. This is kind of frustrating, but let's see. Burning the Rufus inside my pen drive, and I'm burning the Ubuntu here. The problem that I have is pretty much the Windows issue or storage issue. You see, my Windows system has 236 as Windows C drive and 128 as a D drive, and this is the external USB. I'm going to use this as an Ubuntu server, and I'm going to switch inside the computer and then play it, because I really want Windows to be there, because this is an original version of Windows that I got it when I bought the laptop, and I really don't want to pirate it. So if I do format it here, then I will.
So after flashing it for the third time, I opened up my computer and switched my SSD, and this was completely unnecessary because Lenovo has a built-in BIOS switching software, which I will get to know in a bit. I'll show you.
The funnest part about that whole swapping out SSD, well, it didn't work. You see, even after the swapping SSD, Lenovo has a really good software. I'm not going to complain here, but it would be a heads up, would be a really good thing. So I changed the drives, right? But still it is booting as C drive. So then I went to a couple of internet research, and I figured out that Lenovo has an auto switch driving mechanism, which is cool. I'm all for the tech invention, but Note would be good. Now I'm going to use that to format the D drive and then install Ubuntu there. Let's see if that at least be. Come on. What I was telling you, you can actually change boot. This is my primary SSD, and this is my secondary SSD, and this is the pen drive, and this is the network. Actually, Lenovo auto switched it. So now I'm going to change that one.
Now after like 45 minutes of understanding my BIOS and all the features of Lenovo Legion, I started the booting process. You would think this would solve the problem, right? Wait a second.
Guys, even after a lot of stuff, this is the thing that I have. Can you see this? I don't know what is this thing, but usually it should be coming up like something like this, but it's working, but I can't do anything. So I think I need to find out some other way to install Ubuntu. So it's going to be a rough night tonight. I think the problem is my USB stick, if that makes sense. I will try this USB stick, which is my friend's one. I see, preparing automatic repair. I think it is trying to switch that Windows server because we have changed everything. And exit and continue Windows. Oh, I get you. This is coming again. So what I'm going to do is turn off the computer, turn it on again, go to BIOS by pressing F2 continuously, and BIOS. After I went to BIOS, I just have to change the boot order. So right now this is S6 is my Windows boot, so I just have to put this up, and I need to save it. In order to save it, let's go for more settings and press F5, F9. Setup confirmation, yes, and go back and yeah, save and exit. Hopefully it will come back to Windows. Then I need to copy it to, oh my god, after some time we have gone till here. We had crashed it. So S65 is my Windows. So I think this is my Windows driver. Let's see if that Windows boots. It doesn't boot. So I think the other one is the boot section. So let's see again. Now let's try the second one. If that boots, hopefully it should boot. And it's going good till now. This is a good sign. And it should come back to Windows. Yeah. Kind of scary for this. I remember when I'm really young, like in my 13 or 14 years of age, I used to boot Windows, and it was like horrific because at that time piracy was I lived in India, so piracy was not a big deal there. And like nobody knows technical know-how, right? Even like there is a class of people known as computer technicians, and these people come to your home, and it's a desktop PC. It's not like once the copying is done, I have to copy the thing. So let me get back to the story. So when I was young, like, and we kind of messed up in games back then, and there is this section of games known as pirated games, and it was not from Get Into PC or something like that, which new people are like, even me, I'm like very much into Get Into PC. But back in the days, it was not Get Into PC. It was something like you buy a disc and then you get home, you pray to God that installation works, because most of the time, even if you buy a disc, it won't work. Once it doesn't work, the guy who is actually pirating this thing will not give you a money back guarantee. So essentially you will be getting a disc, hoping it will work. If it doesn't work, well, that's that. What's happening? So I'm just going to burn that here. So let's burn the Ubuntu here, partition and everything is good, and let's start recommended. Okay, it will take a bit of time. So as I said, back in the days, like, it's so frustrating because you don't have money and you have to beg your parents to come with the computer guy to your house, and your parents don't use your computer, so they don't see any point of booting the computer or something. And back then, mind you, the RAM was probably like 16 like MB RAM or something. I don't think there was RAM sticks. Graphics card was not there at all. My first computer was, I think it was Core 2 Duo Intel processors. Oh, shittiest processor, right? In that era, the best processor was Pentium 4. That was a really good processor. Pentium 4 and Windows 7, I guess, was a chef's kiss. But even though, like, we kind of pirate things, the system crashes, and when the system crashes, we have to call this thing. But then eventually I had to learn this because I crashed a lot of system, not only mine, my friend's system as well. Then we both have to go to a internet center because internet is not there. So I'll tell you even a crazier story. You see this Microsoft Edge icon? When I was young, I thought that was internet provider, not Wi-Fi, not LAN. Back in the day, it was dial-up connection. So once you connect to the internet, your phone line to your home dies, right? And one of my uncle or my friend, dad's friend came from Dubai or something like that, and he was asking whether the computer has internet, and I was like, yeah, for sure. You see this icon? Yeah, internet is there. He opened the icon, internet was not there. Then I figured out, oh, there is something known as internet that you have to connect, right? Now in 29-30 years, man, like, I'm still formatting this thing. But the good thing is I'm going to Ubuntu, and this is a really good thing because when I have a really good friend. Back in the days when I was in India, I was doing marketing and he was doing developing, and he used to use a Lenovo IdeaPad, which was company laptop, and he was chatting about this thing. He was like, oh, I also want to switch to Ubuntu. It gives me a lot of control and doesn't crash as much as Windows. Now it makes sense. At the time I was like, Ubuntu, why, man? Like, it is so bad. The UI is so bad. But now I understand why he says, because especially when I'm doing like multi-agents and especially Hermes agent and OpenClaw, we are installing it in something known as WSL, which is like a kind of a crooked way to use Ubuntu inside Windows. But the problem is, because you're using like that, all of this connection is not actually working. So I'm like, why can't we use a dedicated Ubuntu system? I think the next big thing would be like this. You have a flashable small SSD drive, and that is your AI assistant with the Ubuntu server. So that would be the next big thing. And you just say, plug this thing in. If you have any security issue, put it out. You dedicate a computer, or you kind of, if you want to have a Windows system, then do a Windows system. But if you want to have an AI assistant, then use this. And you just create all of this thing in a really good SSD like pen drive, and you plug and play AI assistant. Dude, that's mind-boggling. Like, I should sell that. Still, it's going on.
I'm going to cut the drama for you guys. You might think that this time the Ubuntu kind of works, but well, no. Actually, this problem persisted for a very long time. I tried to switch 3 methods. So I even tried to download other Ubuntu or Linux softwares, actually Linux softwares or operations. There are a couple of other options like debug or something like that, and I installed it, or I downloaded it, but I didn't actually install it. At that time, in the last epic moment, I had a revelation in my internet research.
Found out there is 2 options here. One is GPT and DBMS or something like that. I was using, sorry, MBR. I was using the MBR. So MBR is for old BIOS. Since I have a newer BIOS, let me see if I can use Ubuntu again, but with a GPT instead of MBR. Let's see.
Probably you might be thinking that this time it works, right? Well, no, that also failed. So I finally found out a way.
Well, that didn't work actually. So let's try another thing, that is Ubuntu safe for graphics. I didn't see any YouTube video or anything like that, but I think it would be safe mode on Windows, much similar to that. So because graphics may be the issue, let's see if that will sort out. Guys, finally, yes, 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 yes. Now let's. I think that was the thing. The safe installation was the thing. Let's go. Everything is yes. Get you all on the same page. We have gotten here from the Ubuntu. I have selected English, and all of this thing is visual alerts, typing, sticky keys, zoom, seeing, high contrail or reduced animation. I don't need to do that. Let's go for US English at the moment. I hope you guys are seeing everything here. I'm connected to the Wi-Fi already, but I am saying do not connect to the Wi-Fi because if you can see here, you can see ask for wireless, so it's already connected. But I'm just going to connect, saying do not connect to the internet. You have to go and connect to the internet. But once I connect to the internet, this window will go out because I need a login for my internet. It is not actually password protected. It's a cloud student accommodation something. So I'm going to for the interactive installation, and then I'm going to do default. Then I'm going to install graphics and Wi-Fi hardware, and also download and install support for additional media formats like MP3, MP4, and movie, which we can install after a bit while as well because we just need a VLC. Right now it's going its time. Okay, now I'm going to erase and install Ubuntu and not do the manual installation, but I'm going to do here. So this is the two drives that I have. So as you can see, I have a 128 GB and 256. So 256 has the Windows. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to do with the 128 GB here, and I'm going to recalibrate this thing. Okay, and then I'm going to do next and my name. So I'm going to Wish, username Wish. I really don't want password, but I'm going to use active history. Active directory. I don't want to use that. I'm going to click next. Which time zone are you? Yeah, I'm in UK at the moment. Yep. And yeah, install. Now it's actually working, as you guys can see.
For everybody who are doing this for the first time, it's a really fun journey. It's not as exciting to me as to you sometimes because it's kind of scary sometimes, because I actually fried one of my PCs or laptops very back in the days. I had an Omen laptop, and when you are opening up laptops, there is something on a static current inside your body. Check it out. You do not need static current when you are changing anything or opening up your laptop. So if you are one of those people who are opening up laptop to change anything, do something about your static electricity that is inside your body. If that static electricity goes directly to your motherboard, the motherboard might crash. Another getaway or workaround around this problem is to disconnect your battery after you opened up your system.
Okay guys, the installation has been done. Now let's just restart it, and please remove the installation medium and press enter. I'm going to remove the drive and press enter. So I have two disks now, 128 with Ubuntu, 256 with Windows. I think it will go to Ubuntu Windows Manager, right? I don't know whether you guys can see this thing. Yeah. So here, this is the Ubuntu one, and this is the Windows one, right? And this is like the Lenovo series stuff. So I'm going to boot the Ubuntu one. And come on guys, come on. Yes. Drum rolls, please. Welcome to Ubuntu version 24 Lite. Now I'm going to install Cursor, VS Code, no, not VS Code, Cursor, Hermes, a browser, Firefox is there. I think I will go for Firefox in here. Let's start the build.